What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? So we are back again for another episode review of Queen Sugar, and this might be the shortest episode review that I do because this episode didn't really give much. It was more so, and when I say it didn't give much, I mean like it didn't go in depth like we needed to process this and discuss that. It was basically just taking on the effects of what's happening with the corona ever since they had to close in the last episode. Um Next week probably gonna give us a little bit more, but basically this one is called this season 5 episode 3, late April 2020, and basically at the beginning of the coronavirus and the effects that it's having on everybody. I'm not trying to be on here long because I gotta lay down a little bit. Been sitting up too long, my stomach hurt. But basically we see the whole stuff with Viola and different aspects of what everybody is doing with trying to get through the corona situation, this virus that's going around. And this is some of the realest stuff that I've seen, and since these TV shows have come back, this is some of the realest stuff that they have portrayed, given the effects and what's going on and how people like probably acted during the consequences of the shutdown because of the virus and stuff like that. And so basically what's going on, we got Vi, she's using her uh Vi's Pies, delivery service, have Hollywood and I think Nova, with her little organization, they're going around giving food away to people, just donating food, making sure that everybody is okay, and so that her food won't go to waste. Uh, Hollywood, on the other hand, he's dealing with worrying about his mother. She's calling him on the phone, and then we see them having a FaceTime conversation. Trying to do some chicken recipes and dessert recipe. She got a cough. Okay, she has a cough that it doesn't sound good, and she was like, everything's not corona, because we do have to remember, and especially when it first came up, anybody cough, anybody sneeze or whatever, we thinking like, oh shit, you might got this or you might got that. Not and it's almost as if the common cold has went away. Okay, you can't just have a common cold. It can't just be allergies. It can't just be you getting the flu or whatever. It got to be the corona. So that's what could be going on. But then dealing with Hollywood, at one point he was trying to call his mother after that, and he couldn't get through. He couldn't get through, and he was very, very worried because she's an elderly woman, and that cough really concerns him, and she lives out in Baton Rouge, and he's in St. Joseph Parish. They're hours away. So his thing was, he feel like he finna go out there. Vi even told him, if you feel like you need to go out there to make sure she's okay, go out there. He called one of her friends to check on her, and she did, and he said that she said that his mother was lethargic, but she was okay, but he's still worried. And that is what a lot of people have gone through, not being able to see their parents, see their loved ones, and them possibly being sick and dealing with the illness on their own, and not knowing what's happening, and something could be going on and they don't know anything. So that's what reality is going on with Hollywood. Then we got Prosper, who is another older elder of the show, who's dealing with loneliness. We had Nova go over there to the house and was trying to put the stuff up and trying to make conversation with him, but he is just snapping off at her. But she eventually gets him to open up and to come out of that loneliness, and not necessarily come out of that loneliness, come out of that pattern of what he was doing, because what he was doing was just waking up looking at the news, and we heard that each scene that we saw with Prosper, he's looking at the news about what's going on with the coronavirus. And you can just tell by his spirit, he's not the same Prosper that we used to seeing, that's always out there helping people and doing things for others, and just giving good advice and stuff like that. He's just, his spirit is downtrodden. He's been by himself for like 6 weeks or more, because they thought that this was just going to be a 2-week thing, and then it turned out to be longer than that. And, you know, Nova made it to a point where she tried to make it so that she's doing an article on the homelessness and getting homeless people into these vacant hotels that they're not using, and if possible want to help her out with it. And I love that aspect of it, trying to get him to, you know, interact more, get back into the world instead of just sinking into himself and in his loneliness. And you saw how he perked up when she asked him that, you know what I'm saying? Give me a quote and all that stuff. This shit gotta go. This raggedy shit. It's getting fixed tomorrow, y'all, so don't worry about it. But that was a pleasant thing to see. Then, you know, and speaking of Nova, Nova's still fucking that white man. Girl, we don't need to know that y'all about to have sex like 3, 4 times a day or whatever. Y'all quarantining together. I just feel some type of way about Calvin, especially after last week when his ex-wife was like, you know, he like him exotic. Okay, he liked the darker the black, darker the berry, sweeter the juice. Is that what the quote is? You know, he like it like that. You know, sometimes he like him a little thicker with a thicker ass and everything. I said, girl, I mean, Miss Haley chose violence that day. Girl, that shit was funny to me. Okay, funny, you know. But yeah, she doing her little efforts and doing what she always do. She, of course, Nova's gonna look out for the community. That's what she always does. We got Charlie, you know, in the councilman meeting. And of course, we got the black councilman that's just acting an ass, and you know he's just an asshole for no reason. And I got a feeling them two gonna wind up hooking up, because it's always the ones that we can't stand, always the one that, you know, give us the most resistance, whatever, that we find appealing, and we wind up hooking up and having a mistake with. You know what I'm saying? Uh, anyway, Micah here. I'm sorry. So you got Micah, you know, he's back at home. And the first time we see him, he on the couch talking to his friends or whatever. You know, Charlie had to talk to Vi about, you know, because the councilman had tried to make it seem like Vi was out there still operating when she wasn't supposed to, when all she doing is just delivering packages and stuff. I'm sorry, I was interrupted, but no. Um, he was basically trying to make it seem like Vi was still, you know, operating when it's supposed to be a lockdown. They trying to get, you know, things to come in there to help the people, whatever. But he trying to make it seem like she's still operating her diner, which she's not in full capacity operating. She just trying to, you know, get the food that's in there already and send it off so that it won't go bad and go to waste and stuff like that. So of course Charlie had to go down there and talk to her about all of that, and you know nobody planned for this to happen. So it's not, you know, nobody could have imagined that this all would happen, and they can't touch each other. That one particular scene when Charlie was about to touch Vi and couldn't, you know, it was that hurt, because that's what a lot of us going through, especially in the beginning of this whole pandemic. Some of y'all just don't give a fuck no more. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there. Some of y'all down in Atlanta right now for NBA All-Star weekend, and y'all just don't give a fuck right now. Okay, I'm just saying. But anyway, you know, that's what was going on. And like I said, Micah is home. You know, he's talking to some friends or whatever. And then Charlie said that she wanted to get him a COVID test, you know, in the next couple of days so that they won't have to wear the mask around them, around each other. But then she was like, what you want for dinner? He said, I was thinking I was just going to take a drive out, go see some friends or whatever right quick. And she was like, hold up, because Vi had told him, you know, told Charlie, you know, since he coming back, it's probably gonna be a little difficult because he gonna be thinking he an adult now and he can do what he want to do and all that stuff. Because when Ernest had a time when Nova was gone, and then Nova came back home and they was bumping heads a lot. So Charlie was trying to make sure that he knew that, you know, I'm an adult and I know that you're an adult and we can get through this thing together. But then he threw out there talking about some, you know, he finna go talk to his friends and stuff like that. And she was like, hold up, we already discussed this, okay? In order for you to come back here, we already discussed that you were going to stay here. We are not going to go frolicking all over the place or whatever, because this is serious. You know what I'm saying? You can't go see your friends, can't go see Kiki until this pandemic and this lockdown is over. And he was like, well, the Kiki part won't be hard. I said, wait a minute, what happened? girl, he said Kiki dumped him. You know, they not together no more. She's seeing some other dude or whatever. Meanwhile, he was up there. We see him again, and he on the phone talking to some girl that is like a super fan of Charlie. When she heard her voice on the phone, she's like, "Oh my God, is that your mom, Charlie Barton? Oh my God." She's like, "Everything. I'm just so obsessed with her. Oh my God." She was like, "This is girl that goes to school with me. She looked like SZA or whatever, and she's a huge fan of yours. Could you just say hello to her, mom?" And then Charlie obliged, but then after that, you know he was like, she was like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see her in person." He was like, "I can't wait to see you in person and kick it with you or whatever. Like, you fine too and all this stuff." He flirting everything. And I was like, "Wait a minute. So y'all two together?" And I'm sitting here like, I don't think Kiki broke up with him. I think he was already doing some stuff or he assumed some stuff and so therefore he cut it off. Okay. And he was already doing something with Miss Gurley on the phone. For you to be talking about something, "I can't wait to do all this stuff with you in public and in person and stuff like that." I said, "I don't like that, Michael. You becoming a hoe like your daddy." Kiki was a good girl. Kiki don't deserve that. I need the real tea. And if it comes out that Kiki said fuck you because she probably done seen some shit, I'm still gonna be mad at you. I'm still gonna be mad at you because I was rooting for y'all. I really was. Anyway, moving on from that, then we get to my baby Ralph. Ralph and Darla, their issue is what a lot of people, especially in, impoverished neighborhoods, have been dealing with at the beginning of this pandemic and the shutdown and doing virtual school learning with the kids is the fact that the internet connection wasn't right. It was slow in the parish, and so they wasn't getting the having trouble connecting with Blue, doing his work. And then Darla needed to do a movie, have a meeting. And then come to find out, Darla got, she got laid off. She got laid off. And it was basically like, she gonna get laid off pay for 2 weeks and then she's gonna be furloughed because 7 people had came up positive for the virus in the office. You know what I'm saying? So, basically furlough meaning that they continue to have the benefits, but they're not getting paid. You know what I'm saying? And that is the worst thing ever. That is the worst thing ever. And they was when the episode first comes on and we see Ralph looking at the forest, the harvest, the cane crops and stuff like that, and checking that out and seeing how things have progressed. And we hear the news in the background saying how most of these harvest is going to go to waste because they need the manpower to take care of them. And if they can't work, then it's not nothing that anybody can do. And that's basically what's happening, because we see Ralph later checking up on his workers and saying, "I can't hire you right now because we're shut down," and all this stuff. But then I love the fact that we see this type of Ralph that has this optimistic type of view of things. Like, he's like, we're not gonna get no harvest this year. Okay, the harvest just gonna go back into the ground. It's gonna make the soil richer, and we're gonna get a better harvest next year, and everything's gonna be better. But all I gotta do now is, if you gonna find another job, I'm gonna find another job, and that's what's gonna happen. And he went to this nursing care facility that Darla suggested, even though that was risky because they were hot spots for the virus as well. It was a janitorial position, and the lady was like, "You're a boss, you're a farmer, you used to working for yourself, and we don't want somebody that's just here because their money is funny." He was like, "My money is real funny, it's hilarious, but my father was also a farmer, and he also scrubbed floors, scrubbed toilets and mopped floors and swept and did all that. I'm here to make your life better. Okay, I'm here to do the job and put the work in." I said, "You better do that, boo." He sold himself, and of course she was like, "Can you start on Monday?" So that's what was going on. Like, this episode was just basically, I'm disappointed in Micah. I'm really disappointed in Micah. Sometimes you can't trust these light skins. I'm just saying. But yeah, that was the episode. So like I said, it really wasn't much, but it was just detailing. I really pray that everything is okay with Hollywood's mama. Oh my God. And I hope Nova continues to, check in on Prosper, because I don't want nothing to happen to him. If Prosper go, baby, I'm gonna be over it. I'm gonna be over it, okay? But that was Queen Sugar. You guys tell me how you felt about it, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.